Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and tonight we're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. You can always jump down to the description below where you'll find a link to the wonderful people that are here or supposed to be here when they're not here on Nerdarchy. So without further ado, I will toss it to our illustrious GM for the evening, Robin.
Damn it, Ted, I also have the word illustrious written down for my preamble, and now I have to figure out something else to use. All right.
You can reuse illustrious, it's not a problem.
But I won't. All right. Welcome to the Old Guard. This is a game where all of the PCs are older adventurers that are coming back for one last hurrah. I gotta rein my voice in because I was yelling earlier and I didn't mean to, and it caused a disturbance in the audio force. As a content warning, one of the characters in this game is struggling with alcoholism. If you are in a bad place for that, it is okay to take a pass on it and swing back around later or not. It's up to you. That said, I am going to pass it to our robust producer, Jake, as is tradition, to introduce himself and his character and then pass it on.
Hey, internets. It's Jake. I'm Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and that's where you can find me on Mondays, every other Tuesday, and Thursdays, where we run some Pathfinder, we run D&D, we run... Kids on Bikes. In fact, if you tune in on Thursdays, you'll often see Ted there with us as well. We are in the 3rd season of our Kids on Bikes RPG. Although you won't see anything until August because we're about to take a hiatus for the month of July. But there's lots of stuff over on the Mini Terrain Domain YouTube page that you can catch up on our VODs. I am playing Raziel Rune, the Asimir Zealot, Path of the Zealot Barbarian, who recently has had reason to indulge in a little bit of zealotry, which may have also caused him to dip into some warlock. And it's not causing any problems with the party whatsoever. Right, Ted?
Of course not.
I haven't noticed any problem.
That was me throwing it to you, Ted.
Oh, sorry. So coming back to myself, I am playing Gelthor, who is a tiefling cleric. Having the capacity to, struggle with the alcoholism, though I think with the months at sea, I think he's doing, much better now. But he is still worried about the relationship that is kind of sending a massive rift between himself and Raziel, given the recent turbulence of the reappearance of one saint. And I'll throw saints into quotation marks. Off to you, Frag.
So I'm Briganator. You can only find me here. I don't do anything outside of this. I am playing Hasayed Jason, the Ranger, with no levels of Ranger. And I think I'm human. Yeah, I'm human.
Or so you claim.
And look, it says it right there.
Does it also say Ranger there too?
It does,
No,
but
it
it's
does
in
not.
it does, but it's in quotes. It says Ranger.
All right, let's get into it.
All right. So Raziel, I'm starting with you tonight.
Oh.
The party is not together when we begin. On this particular night, you are summoned by Saint Adelaide. It is late. You should have long since been in bed, but you weren't. Why not?
I think that Raziel's sleeping pattern has dramatically altered, in large part because either through magical means or just through Raziel's attempt to attune to his patron, his dark saint. He's trying to attune to when she's awake, when she's active, and even when he does sleep, I imagine it's more of that like a feline. Cats are almost always ready in an instant if something should alert them, if something should need them. And Raziel's always ready should he be summoned.
And it always happens in the ink black hours of the middle of the night. She has long since ceased trying to hide her condition from you, but every so often she will come to you more presentably, with no rot, with no withering. Tonight she is the way you remember her, if more dour. She holds a frost blue lantern and she leads you deeper into the catacombs. The darkness outside this little ring of a glow is oppressive. She tells you, there is no one else that I trust to sit sentinel during this ritual. There is no one else that I trust to watch this important site while I get the magic done. It isn't the same chamber I will be in, but it is connected to it and it is just as important. If anything crawls out of that altar, I need you to kill
it. Your word is my command.
She inclines her head and stops, and it's in front of a stone door. And she reaches out her hand and pushes on one of the icons on the stone door. It's like a carved skull, but definitely tiefling. And it clicks, the door slides across. She offers you the lantern. You will need this.
I will take it.
And she pauses, studying your face for a moment longer, before withdrawing back into the shadows and disappearing from view completely, as if they've swallowed her. The room itself is fairly small. It's about 15 feet wide. It's about, in a north-south direction, 20 feet across. And there is an altar at the head of the room. A really nasty black stone thing with twisted carvings all around the outside. People suffering, people drowning. And a single candle with a black flame lit in the center. Gelthor.
Yes.
That night you were given a dream. A blood-red ribbon unspools and leads you deeper into the catacombs beneath Armistice. Up from the steps rises a briny tide to stop at your feet. In the dream, you walk forward into it, and as you submerge, you find yourself with fins from the waist down, an elder marrow, webbing between your fingers. Naturally, you know not to breathe from the mouth and nose, and with a feeling not unlike a hiccup, something twists inside and allows you to breathe through gills that feel as if you have always had them. There's a chamber deep beneath the earth. You have long since lost all light by the time you arrive, but that scarlet-drenched ribbon leads you onward. It is wedged in a stone door with a tiefling staring back at you. It opens easily, and Nareen stands before a dark altar, illuminating a circle with a pearl between her hands. She takes the form of a 9-foot-tall marrow herself, a mass of writhing tentacles from the waist down, her hair a nest of questing snakes. They all look in a different direction, feeding her information. You do not turn to stone. You will remember the way, she says, looking over her shoulder at you.
So as I take her in, I not out of fear for the snakes, but out of deference for who she is and who she is to me. I lower my gaze, still oriented in her direction. If you said I have like I have fins. I'm not a merman. I'm a marrow, so like I still have limbs, right?
Yeah. Well, that's up to you, really. Like whatever you think you would look like as, because like there's a marrow species in this setting, right? Like you've got the people who live under the ocean and the ones that live on land, and that's pretty much the difference.
I'm just like my brain is in a whirl with this. So if I don't take control of the transformation. If I've got, a
Okay,
fish
yeah,
tail.
you have a fishtail.
Okay, so then I like whatever would feel naturally, because this happens as if this is supposed to be my form. Whatever I would consider, proper deference is what I would be doing. The equivalent of taking a knee.
Be careful. Move quickly, but not in haste. You need to extinguish that flame.
Okay.
And at that, you would waken. Hesed, where would you be at 3 in the morning?
Probably just wandering the town or boat or forest, wherever we are.
Yeah, we're back in the city. So
Okay.
you'd be like in the back alleys, I'd guess, like maybe
Yeah.
somewhere near the park district. A firefly lands on your hand and flashes once. They have started to encroach. That is unusual for this time of night. Fireflies are usually out around when the sun sets and they stop before full dark. What do you do?
Ask it what it's doing there. Fireflies are one of the clans, right?
Yes.
That's significant in any way to me.
It's Gelthor's.
Oh. Yeah, I knew I heard about it somewhere.
Yeah, Hesed would definitely remember that. That is why I'm not making you roll for it.
I guess, assuming it just stays on me, I'll be like, are you wanting to find Gilthor? And then I'll just start wandering to where I think he might be.
There's a shadow that passes over you, a flicker of wings, a flap. Someone stands beside you with the hood drawn. It's a female voice that speaks. And she says, your friends are going to need your help.
Usually.
She extends a claw, unfurls talons, and in her hand is a disc of a ruby. It almost looks like a coin with how flat it is, but it is unmistakably a gem. I only have one of them. It's on you to get the other.
For what purpose?
A key, I think? I don't know. Prophecy isn't always clear.
Do I recognize who or what this creature is?
It's a tiefling.
Oh, okay. I heard Talon and I just...
Yeah, she just got demon claws.
Okay. Do you have a lead on where it might be?
Down, under. You'll know.
Guess I'll go grab a shovel. And take it and start walking towards Gelthor's Hill.
All right.
So Gelthor typically, just has one of the free rooms or free, hammocks at the one tavern.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
I was more for Hesed.
Oh, right, because he's going to find you. Okay, yes, continue. Yes. Sorry.
I imagine he would know where you are. I just... We've all been together for a long time, so...
I imagine Gelthor is not in his hammock anymore at this point, though.
So is there a bonobo roll that he's coming in as I am heading out, or
oh, I'm down with that if that's how you guys want to play this.
I don't remember how to roll. Oh wait, there's a die right there. Roll it. No, not two of them. How does this work?
How do we even roll dice?
5. All my dice are still packed, so I have to use the D&D Beyond ones. 9. Just straight up 9.
All right, Gelthor, you give me a roll too. We'll see how close they are.
All right. I rolled a 5.
That's actually not terrible. So rather than you are getting ready to go when he walks in, he gets you as you are on your way out the door of the tavern. Like you've got all your stuff. You're getting ready to leave.
I say, what brings you here at this hour?
I found a friend of yours. Or it found me. And I hold up the firefly. I took it as a sign.
Well, hello, little one. I've got to go put out some flame. Um, you know how things are with the deities, and I'm not going to do anything to get on her wrong side again. You're welcome to join me.
Flame doesn't happen to be underground, does it?
Uh, Underground, underwater, could be both.
Close enough. And she gave me that little flat ruby thing, right?
Yes.
I show it to Gelthor. I'm like, apparently I'm supposed to find another one of these or something.
Uh, does that look familiar?
Please say yes.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Well, let us let us be off then, and I'll start making my way to the spot that I envisioned. You said I remember, or like I've been there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh yeah, you can just walk straight to it. It's like you've been there 100 times before. But when you get to the door, it is pitch black inside. There is not a light source in sight. You look down those stairs and you can see a couple steps down, and then it is nothing.
Um, like, is it like magically dark, or is it just
Yes.
all right? Well, how uh how well do you trust me there, Sayed?
Lead the way.
So
Not going to stop now.
so I would just say put your hand on my shoulder as we, go down so that we don't lose each other, and I'll begin, walking.
Yeah, it is tattooed on the inside of your mind. You know exactly where you're going, and you walk, and it is dark, and it is oppressive. And never at any point do you walk into any walls, in spite of taking plenty of turns. You just start to reach where you know your terminus point is. Hasaid, can you give me a dexterity saving throw?
Sure. Can I pass one? I have no idea.
Well, it's you and dice, whether it's digital or not. It's
14.
You are grabbed. You are pulled. You
Do I
are
like it?
upward. I don't know, do you?
Probably not. Not in the dark.
Gelthor, there is no longer a hand on your shoulder.
You hear, what?
that sound. So I would instinctually turn. So like I'm probably like halfway turned in the direction of where Hussein was before I realized like that's not going to do anything because I can't see what's back there. Um,
And as you turn away from where you know the door is, and you hear a click and a sliding sound, the stone on stone. And I need a dex save from you now.
okay.
Do
Dexterity saving throw is not my best.
Sad thing is, it is my best.
Actually, most of my saves are not great. Wisdom is awesome, but all right, so that's a 16.
Okay. You pass. You manage to keep your footing. But it's like when a door opens into a vacuum, you are still pulled back into this room. It's just that you don't go sprawling when you are. You get yoinked back in. You find yourself on your feet inside the dark. There's a source of light behind you, and then the door is closing in front of you, and you can barely see it in the dark fringes of the room.
Okay, so I'm being pulled into this room where the light is.
Yes.
Do I see Sayed in there, or was he pulled up behind me?
He was pulled up behind you. Raziel, the door behind you opens.
In a flash of white and black flame, my longsword extends, appearing in my hand, drawn from shadow. And I'm immediately at the ready to see, in the light of this this lantern, who or what just entered the room. I'm not taking direct action because I was told to pay attention to the altar, though this constitutes an interruption, so I am ready.
It's Gelfar.
Seeing Gelthor suddenly pulled into the room, the sword will sort of vanish into flames, and I will resume my position leaning. The lantern sits on the floor, and I'm leaning against the wall, resuming watching this altar. What are you doing here?
I've been sent. What are you doing here?
Sent by whom?
By Nareen?
Noreen.
Nareen. Obviously, Gelthor says it with far more confidence of who he's worshipped for the last 40 years.
Sent here for what? To interfere?
Do I see this altar and this, flame?
Yes.
So, using the light from this room, do I see Hasayed?
No. You can see pretty much the entire room. Hasaid is not in here with you.
No, I mean, like, if I turn away from Raziel and look back, is the light from this room just completely shut out from the passageway?
It seems to be yes.
Hasayed, I will literally, like, ignore your question for a moment as I turn my back on you and look into the darkness as I, call out Hasayed's name, assuming that my friend is not going to just strike me down while my back is to him.
The sword.
Hasaid,
I dissipated the sword as soon as I saw it was you.
you do hear him calling and you can't answer. You're just a little tied up at the moment.
I'm a little indisposed at the moment. A little tied up,
Oh, good. You brought the
but I'm here.
ranger.
What has got you?
It's
Tentacles? I have no idea.
no, it's not tentacles. It feels more like a spider web.
Oh, lovely spiders. I seem to be enwebbed.
Do you require assistance?
Will prestidigitation making flame melt through webs to get me out?
Absolutely yes.
Then
Do you
no.
have any idea how flammable spider webs are?
In games, yes. In real life, no.
Similarly,
I will prestidigitate spider webs with flame then to try and get myself free.
yeah, you end up landing, like, you can tuck and roll with it and you don't take any damage. You're good, but there is a door between you and Gelfar right now.
Oh, so the door is completely closed?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's
locked?
slammed shut.
Okay. I must have missed that part.
I heard a click shut.
Hopefully you can open it. But now knowing that you're safe, I will, turn my attention back to Raziel, and I take a moment, take a deep breath. I apologize. I assume you overheard, but Hassan came with me. Um, I assume, given your stance, that you are here to protect, and I just kind of incline my head towards the lantern.
I don't know that it's necessarily protection. I am standing sentinel, watching. Just in case something
Watching for
comes
what?
up. Just in case something should emerge from that altar.
From the altar itself. Well, I have been tasked with putting the flame out.
There's a candle that burns, a black candle that burns on top of the altar, correct? That's what you said?
Yes.
When you say that, where I'm leaning against the wall, I just do one of those. What flame?
I, again, incline my head towards the altar, towards the candle.
That flame will stay burning. This time, very slowly in my hand, just that shifting of the white black flame as the sword reforms. Not held up, just at my side. You don't have to do this, Skelthor.
Neither do you.
Well, I do.
Why?
Because it is my duty. I have been tasked with standing sentinel over this altar and this flame.
I assume that she sent you.
She summoned me, and I came. She gave me my instructions, and I follow.
You feel that your duty here is stronger than the connection you have to the rest of us?
Until you and Hassan showed up, I didn't have to worry about you. I assumed you were sleeping.
Well, I wasn't given a choice in that matter either.
So I would ask you the same question then, Gilthor. Does your duty to your deity take precedence over your allegiance to your friends?
Well, I held true to my friends for a long time. I fell off the wagon for a long time. I don't know exactly the connection that you have to, and you could see the moment where I hesitate trying to find what is an appropriate word, because even now the word saint doesn't feel right to Gelthor. He doesn't even want to say her name because there's just way too much emotion there, both love and hate and revulsion at what she has become. And you can see, like, he tries to mouth several different things before he just throws in a bland her. um i I wish you no harm, and I wish that you saw things as I do and made the choices that, or make the choices as I see them. I I fell in love with someone who was what I thought full of life, full of beauty, full of vigor. That person is gone. That entity that you are so devoted to is not the same one that stands here doing untoward things. I don't see how you can still claim the same devotion.
My devotion to her never changed, Gelthor. In all these 20 years that she's been gone, I never stopped loving her. I never stopped being devoted to her. I think you changed, Gelthor. And that's why you don't love her anymore. You said it yourself. You fell off the wagon. And you don't have to tell me that. I've taken care of you more nights than you will ever remember. And in all that time, you were the one who made the choice. You changed. You forsake her. You forsake your goddess. And then when you were ready, you sobered up and you went back to your goddess. And she, I assume, took you back in open arms.
I never left Noreen. What I have been able to ascertain of a goddess's designs, she had a sense of what, and I force the name out, but I don't do it with any kind of vehemence. But she had a sense of what Adelaide was up to, was not able to do anything about it. And it is only through this random happenstance of Tristan's child's loss that pulled us back into everything that's going on. And as it happened, that's when we saw what she's become, what Adelaide is revealed herself. She did a miracle. She did something that no one expected to have happen. But I don't know that the connection that either of us had was reciprocated the same way. I thought she cared for me, but whatever it is that she is doing is more important than either of our thoughts, emotions, wishes. Because clearly she's been around. She has been doing whatever she's been doing.
And at that, There's a sharp sound, a grinding, a click. Hasaid, do you want to describe what you've been doing for the past couple of minutes?
No, because it's embarrassing.
It's
Okay, I'll
expertly
do
handled
it.
as far as
You do it.
it's been
Okay,
expertly handled from my perspective, because apparently while we're having a chat, in voices, you guys have been chatting in the chat to describe what Azid has been doing.
It's me
Love it.
being an idiot taking forever to figure something out that should have been simple.
no, it's okay. That's perfectly fine because there was other stuff going on. I planned this. It's good. So what happened
Beautiful.
was
You planned
Hasaid-
my ineptitude. I see.
No, not like that. God damn it. All right, shush. All right, so Hasaid is in the pitch darkness and finds the skull on the door, and he uses his thieves' tools to try and unlock the door. He's trying to get it open. What he ends up finding are two sockets in the eye holes of the skeleton, and first he sticks his fingers in them, which is really funny and honestly brilliant, and you take a point of inspiration for doing that. And then he's poking around trying to figure out how to unlock them with his thieves' tools, as you do when you're a little bit shady. And then
when you're a ranger.
when you're a ranger. And then he remembers that he has this ruby disc and he slots it in there. And when he slots it in there, that is when the grinding sound happens.
And because it's Robin, I put it in the left eye socket.
Yes, Semper Lateralis. I appreciate that. I already gave you a point of inspiration, or you would be getting one for that too. So the ruby flickers to life and it casts a red glow around where you are standing. But on the inside of the chamber, there's a little bit of a scrape, and out of the walls come what appear to be horse heads with their mouths open and just briny water spilling out of them and onto the floor, just soaking the bottoms of your shoes and slowly starting to rise. At the rate that it is entering the room, you probably have a few hours. It's not immediately urgent, but you're gonna want to get that door open.
So the water is starting to rise.
Yeah, it's not getting out that door. It's not escaping through anywhere. You just it's just starting to rise in the room.
All right. Was it like a lengthy grinding noise?
Yes.
All right. I am going to let's ask this question. Can I use that moment of potential distraction to cast Gust of Wind and direct it at the candle?
You guys are gonna roll off against each other for that. You can cast it, and then that will be the DC for Raziel's interference.
All right. Well, I rolled a natural 20.
Okay, so I have trying to think of which of these things will work, because as a barbarian I have advantage on dexterity against effects that I can see, but I also have feral instinct, which gives me advantage on initiative.
So it's just an initiative roll. That's just a 22.
Is it an initiative roll, or is this I'm trying to stop him? Because what I would do is, if I see him casting something I've seen do, I'm assuming Gust of Wind has a somatic component.
Mm-hmm.
Then
it's initiative.
Then I would try to disrupt that.
Okay, yeah, then it's initiative.
So you got a 22.
Right, so yeah, it's verbal somatic material. So I would literally reach up and be grabbing my holy symbol as I'm doing this. So,
all right. So rolling with advantage on initiative, I got a 15.
Okay, the candle goes out. The room goes dark, except for the lantern that you have. The darkness seems to shudder, and Gelthor, you are not standing in the circle of light, and suddenly the darkness is tactile. It is not the same as it was outside of this room. I'm going to pause you there for a moment, however, and cut back to Hasaid. Oh yes, what?
No. I was being paused.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Hussein, you are standing on the outside. You have heard everything that they've been saying, and you now hear water running in the room.
Well, that blows.
Best
So
forbidden joke. I get it.
do I think that I need to find the other disc to put in the other eye socket, or do I think I need
Yes.
to? Okay. And do I think that will stop what's happening?
You think that will open the door.
Forgot to grab a shovel.
Well, you're already down.
Right. So I'm still in the dark, though. Correct?
Yes, you are still in the dark. It is not tactile for you, however.
Well, I don't even know what to do. I don't have. If I cast prestidigitation, does my little flame that it makes actually light up, or is it too dark?
It is magical darkness. I
So
actually
no,
don't know if a light spell cuts through that or not. I don't think
It
it
does
does.
not.
Ted
not
doesn't. No,
unless
it doesn't. No.
it's
Okay, then no. No,
I
it's
think like a
very
daylight
dark.
spell maybe, but that's
It is advanced darkness. I promise there is not a Gru in this dungeon.
a what?
A
No, I'll
Gru.
tell you later.
Okay. Man, I don't even know what to do. I'll just start calling for it. Here, disc. Wandering around trying to get it to come to me.
All right, you have definitely attracted something's attention. You should know,
Perfect.
however, that there's the way that you came in, and then there is the path forward. There's one way in this catacomb. You can keep going if you like.
Sure.
All right. So you go for a little bit. You eventually do find like a T juncture, but one side has a rusted grate, like just down over it. Like you can't go that way. And it's gonna take you a while making your way. Like everything is dark, everything is thick, everything is you cannot see your hand in front of your face. Like I can't emphasize this enough. But you know what you're doing. You have been moving around in the dark for longer than most people have been alive. So eventually you do find a doorway. Can I get a proper thieves tools roll, because this lock is much more normal?
Okay. How's a 21?
Oh yeah, easily. The lock clicks, the door opens. The inside has 3 of those same blue witch lights, like the one that Raziel had. And you can see, although the shadows are very dramatic and it is hard to see the finer details of the room, you are standing in a small laboratory library.
All right. I guess I'll start searching it, see if I can find anything that will help.
All right, there's books, impossible to read in this lighting. But on the table, there are a few beakers and things full of solutions. There are notes. Of course, you can't see what the notes say because of the nature of the lighting right now. But you can smell the chemistry.
Chemistry in
Were
the
it
dark
only
sounds totally safe.
yeah, were it only that Treston, were actually the photographers do it all the time.
At least they got a red light.
And you find one other thing. A mold.
Oh, great.
That is about
I mean,
the
what's
same.
that?
It is about the same shape as the socket from the lock. And I'm going to leave you to think about that for a little bit, and we are going to cut back to Raziel and Gelfor.
All right. Well, I mean, I technically did my initiative action. I cast my spell, and now I'm prepared for the backlash.
I don't know why you insist on constantly pushing my buttons. And that is me raging as a bonus action. As I very quickly move over to where this candle has been extinguished. Is your gust of wind persistent, or was it just a
Yes.
gust and then it went away?
It is a persistent.
Hmm. well, that changes what I was going to do this round. I'm going to try to break your concentration while trying not necessarily to break your jaw. I'm going to punch.
So,
I'm going to try punching
so
Gelthor.
it is a line of strong wind, 60 feet long and 10 feet wide. Just jumping to the good parts. The gust disperses gas or vapor and extinguishes candles, torches, and similar unprotected flames in the area. Uh, it causes protected flames such as those by lanterns to dance wildly and has a 50% chance to extinguish them. So I don't know if like the candle is like just on the lantern and it's now been pushed off.
The candle and the
what's going
lantern
on.
are two separate things.
Yes.
Okay.
The lantern is something that I have. The candle
and
was
the
sitting on the
candle-
altar.
And you have blown it out. It is darkened the room. That is what made the shadows tactile.
So, with that, I need this wind to stop so I can try to relight this candle. So, I'm going to move quickly. And I am going to attack Gelthor with non-lethal. Literally just trying to break his concentration. And I'm going to do so. Basically, I've got that long sword summoned in my hand. But I'm going to first throw a left, and then I'm going to, with the sword hand, basically punch him with the hilt of the sword. That's the intent, anyway. That's a 19 for the first hit.
Hits.
And then the follow through is a 14.
14 misses.
That's 8, 9, 10. Plus 6. That's 16 points of non-lethal damage.
DC 10 concentration, concentration check. That is a 19 on the die, so well over what I need. Anything else that you're doing?
As I'm hitting you, and trying to break this concentration, you don't have to always interfere. It is okay to let things happen that don't involve you.
Just as you don't have to follow blindly with everything. And I spit, a glob of blood onto the ground. Every little thing that she wishes you to do. And for, I assume we're just gonna go back and forth in initiative here.
This is now round 2, yes, or are we still on round 1? I'm just.
This would be round 2.
This is going into round 2.
Okay, so the water has risen to your ankles at this point. Continue.
7 plus 4. I will cast a Cure Wounds. As lightning kind of springs from my hand and kind of like jaunts through my arm up to my jaw, and the swelling, from your punch kind of diminishes a little bit. I like that. But I continue concentrating.
I'm curious. Actually, I don't think I can do that. 1 second. I gain infinity regions. You can't cast. That's what I thought. I was gonna try something and I realized, wait a minute, I can't cast spells while I'm
You can't
raging.
cast or concentrate while raging.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that sucks. I'm waiting for a more magic-y barbarian.
That's all right. That's all right.
Nerdarchy's got a Path of the Spell Eater that, works with magic a little bit, but it's still not allowing you to cast.
I think. All right. Yeah. Continuing our back and forth. There's nothing blind about my actions, Gelthor. I can see clearly what I'm doing. Fa fa, and I'm gonna attack recklessly. That's gonna be 19 on the first one.
Yep.
A 23 on the second one.
Yeah, they both hit.
All right, so that's gonna be 7 plus plus 2 for raging is 9 plus 2 3 4 5 is 14. So yeah, that's 14 on the first one, and whoops, wrong button there. Hold on. What is it? So,
All right.
damn it. Okay, 14 on the first one.
And I passed my concentration check.
Okay.
Hitting a 14.
So that's a 6, 7, 8, because I only get the extra 1d6 plus 3 on the first attack per turn. So that's an additional 8 with the second one.
All right. Next concentration check. DC 10. It's another 14. So I don't know if with your attacking recklessly, I'll ad lib here. I assume like one connects to my face, another one connects to my gut, and I kind of double over a little bit in the pain, but I managed to hold on to the gust of wind.
Raziel. You realize at about this point that you have Shin water. The water seems to be rising a bit faster right now. Gelthor, for whatever reason, this does not concern you.
I fully, based off of the dream that I went through, I'm not in the least bit worried. I'm more worried about whether my friend is gonna kick my ass and kill me, but the water's not bothering me. So you still have a move and a bonus action.
Yeah, I think.
Raziel, you doing anything with it?
I think. There's a lot I want to do, but I can't do. Okay. I'm gonna pivot around you a little bit, putting you between the altar and me, and that's it. I'm just throw a
between me and the altar. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm putting you between me and the altar. Putting you closer to the altar.
Sure. I don't understand how you're moving me, but
I'm not moving you. I'm pivoting around you.
So that you're closer than he is.
So that
okay.
It's me, you, then the altar. I've just pivoted around you.
Okay, okay, all right. Now I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
This is where
Fear the
the
mind.
moving minis on the board. I'm like, I'm thinking, oh, I moved, so my
Nope.
head.
Yeah, so I think I'll do that, and I'll just throw in a little Captain America. I can do this all night.
You can do this a lot longer than I can. Um, that's for sure.
Go for.
Yes.
You are more attuned to the water moving than Raziel is, and you notice first that something is trying to pull itself. It feels like out from underneath the altar. Something large, something that should not fit beneath it from the way the water moves. I will let you chew on that for a moment as I cut back to Hussein.
Sure.
Hussein, you find so many tools on this desk. You are so good at what you do. Your hands stick out immediately. They find exactly what you're looking for. Investigation gets you the braille and the labels of the bottles. You get an idea of what is the liquid crystal, which one is going to let it set. You find the tool that holds the mold that you need to pour them into over the burner. You find um, just about everything you need, and you figure out what you need to do without hurting yourself to do that in even the dark condition that you're in. You use an eyedropper. You're getting really scientific with this, and at about the point that you turn the burner on, you understand that this thing is going to demand something a little bit magical from you as well. That maybe you don't have the kind of arcane magic that the person who came up with this process would, but you can give it intent. You can give it a truth.
Okay.
What will you give this crystal?
So before I start, is it something that I'm basically just thinking into it and like pouring into it that way, or am I speaking it out loud? Like, how is.
You are thinking it.
Okay. So for everybody else, I think about the reason I started adventuring in the first place. And it's because as a young teenager, I was in love, and I was starting to get into my less scrupulous ways, learning the art of being a rogue, and I crossed someone. And as a cruel joke, they took the person I loved and turned them into a butterfly. And she flew away from me. And my entire adventuring career has been only to find the butterfly.
Oh my god, you've been chasing butterflies.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure you've actually done that in this game before.
I have.
This might be the juiciest Fragginator lore drop I think I've heard in all the years we've
I
been
have it written
playing.
down too. It's in your notes somewhere.
I feel like your characters probably always have something like this, and we just never find out about it.
Frag loves to make, deep backstories and what have you.
And they're
But
almost always tragic.
but if they don't come out and play, that doesn't stop him from,
You gotta start telling us about this stuff more often. Oh my god. All right. So, what color is that emotion for you? I can't label this myself.
I'm just gonna go with my real life wedding colors, and it's gonna be a mixture of hot pink and neon green, just like the butterfly that flew away.
Oh. Oh my god. All right. Okay. So you end up with a crystal that's in like watermelon colors, and it glows softly in your hands because you made this thing, like you powered it. And it's the size that it should be. Theoretically, this should work. Um
Start retracing my steps.
what do you usually roll to make somebody remember things?
So I generally either have that be just a straight intelligence check or history. If I feel that's, a little apropos, but it is entirely your call.
Yeah, all right, give me int.
Scary. My int is not great.
I promise you will get there eventually. It's just a matter of how many rounds before you do.
Right. Just gonna roll a flat 10. Just
Okay,
perfectly
okay.
average.
So 3 rounds and you will reach your friends.
All right.
Friends, you
Yes.
guys can see something shifting under the rising water. Raziel, you are aware of it too at this point. You can see like tendrils writhing there, and they are translucent, but it's hard to tell in the semi-darkness. What do you two do?
So do I don't know if you'll allow this, but do I get any kind of sense of them? Um, like, do I feel with my connection to the water? Uh, does this feel adversarial, neutral,
Yes.
uh,
Oh, it is very
adversarial?
adversarial. It is not from this plane of existence. Nareen does not like it one bit.
All right. All right. The the candle, did it fall off the altar and get knocked into the water, or is it still on top of the candle? It's still on top of the altar.
Yes, it's still on top. It's just not lit anymore. It's kind
Okay.
of waxed onto the altar.
All right. Uh, if I action disengage, move towards the altar, can I pick up the candle as an interact with object, or is that more like I need an action to pick it up?
You can pick it up as an interact with object. It's like you just have to snap it off.
All right. So I disengage from Raziel. I go over towards the altar. I pick up the candle, put it in my my bag, and I cast spiritual weapon, and conjure a floating spear that will reach down and stab at whatever this weird tendril darkness, what have you.
Awesome.
So that is a 22 to hit,
It hits.
and it will do nice 11 points of radiant damage.
The thrashing intensifies, and as you do radiant damage, a light illuminates the chamber that you're in, and you see every corner for a second. You see every brick, you see all of the cracks, you see all of the moss, you see the stalactites, and then it goes back to being oppressively dark in the corners.
All right, that's me.
Raziel.
Seeing this entity, this has now become more important than Gelthor and the candle. I can deal with him after this if I have to. I am going to for a bonus action, I'm going to put my Hexblade's Curse on this entity. It'll last for 1 minute. Gives me a bonus to damage against it. And I crit on a 19 or 20. And then using my Hex Sword, I'm going to attack it twice recklessly.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So, first attack against it. Scheisse. I'm gonna use my inspiration and re-roll that, because I gotta believe that was a miss. Where did it go? There it is. All right, better, much better. 24 to hit.
You hit.
That was a long pause. I was like, does 24 hit? Second
Oh no,
attack.
I just thought you knew because the 22 it hit with Gelthor.
I wasn't. Yeah, I missed that while I was planning, and then a dirty 20.
Fantastic, that hits too.
Okay, so let me just make sure I got all my proper bonuses
So
here.
when you said the 22 hit for Gelthor, I thought you were saying the 22 hit Gelthor. I'm like, why does my armor class have to...
All right, so the first attack is a 13 plus 2 for raging plus 1d6 plus. So let's wait. So it was a 13, 14, 15, and then 2 plus 3 is 5. So that's 20 plus the Hexblade does another 4. So the first attack is 24 damage. I'm just double checking to see if any of that is.
Thank God that didn't hit me.
So the 5 of that is necrotic damage from my Divine Fury, if that matters.
Fantastic.
So that's just the first hit.
All right.
The second hit doesn't get as many bonuses to it, but that is that is so 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 4 for raging, so 11 slashing damage.
Fantastic.
And that's just all slashing damage.
Yeah, if you had hit me with that, that's half my health right there.
Well, I was also attacking you with non-lethal damage.
Sure. I understand that. I know enough.
I'm not trying to kill you.
Going on. But you did attack recklessly, so that's
yeah. I'm literally trying to knock the wind out of you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But that's that's my action and bonus action.
Say you get a little further down the hall, you're still feeling your way along, and there the squid creature that keeps dragging itself out from under, and it's above the water now. You kind of see a part of a balloon of a head just emerging. And the water keeps filling the room. It's almost up to the knee at this point. But it has not attacked yet. It still thrashes. It is making the water choppy, but it hasn't lashed out quite. We are back to Gelthor.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna start off bonus action. I will knock a tentacle. It's a 15 hit.
No.
Okay. All right. Then I will step up to this thing, and did the necrotic from Raziel look like it do full damage?
Yes.
I can do a couple of those. So you know what? So I will step up, and the lightning will dance in my eyes as I begin casting a spell that sends this wave, and as the lightning kind of comes down my arm, it begins to change from that crackling white into darker energy, and I imagine there's probably going to be a little bit of a hypocritical look as I wield the same energy that Adelaide does as I cast a 3rd level inflict wounds. I hit AC 23.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is 10, 20, 30, 38, 42 points of necrotic damage.
In the
All right.
heat of this fight, seeing Gelthor do this, I just snap my head over to look at him. So you do remember her? And I'm going to... Man. About the time I do that.
Not always about lightning.
Let's see, what does that do? That does... That's a bonus action too. I'm going to use bonus action. Oh, yeah. I'm going to bonus action use my Celestial Revelation, Necrotic Shroud. My eyes suddenly flaring with that same white-black flame, even brighter than with the Rage. I think in this instance, I'm not fully believing Gelthor to be an ally. So both Gelthor and the creature will have to make a charisma saving throw, which is 8, 12, 13, DC 13.
That's a fail.
You are now frightened of me, if you can be frightened.
No, I can't.
Assuming you weren't already.
Well, I mean, they can't.
So that's targeted at the creature as well. It's anybody within 10 feet of me.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. We have a 15.
15, so it succeeds. It's not frightened. Does it still deal extra damage to one target until the transformation ends once on each of your turns? Okay.
You would be aware from having cast this that this creature is some kind of eldritch and is immune to fear effects.
Perfect. That should side effect keep Gelthor off my back. I'm going
you understand,
to.
I have done nothing to you.
I understand that.
All right.
You have interfered in my task, though.
Sure.
Become frightened. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure that the extra damage is not a part of the fear effect. So I'm gonna double attack recklessly against this entity once again. Barbarian, that's what I do. First attack is a 23. Second attack is a 24. So let me check my thing here, because now it's taking an extra 4 from that, so it's taking an extra 8 plus 10. So it gets plus 4 from the Shroud, plus 4 from the Curse, and plus 2 from the Rage. So it's taking, on both hits, it's taking 10 right off the bat. So that's gonna, oh, I rolled a 1 on damage, so that's 14, and then it's the first attack, so it gets the 1d6. Oops. Which is, ooh, max damage. So what did I say that was? 14 plus 9, so 23 points on the first attack. And 9 of that is necrotic. I think you said it wasn't immune to necrotic, so
no, it's not immune to it.
The second attack is a 10 plus 10, so 20. So all in 43 points of slashing damage, with a touch of necrotic in there.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys have just been damaging the crap out of this thing, and it's still standing up. It shifts, it moves its mass. I don't know if you've ever seen Katie and the Caterpillar Kids, but like the aliens in that movie have this like way of like sort of like dragging themselves along with their tendrils. It's kind of what this thing is doing. It's like just rising up, and it almost looks like the outline of a cloak, except it's really more like a balloon with a cinch at the bottom. It's just very unusual. It's very squid like, but it's not any squid you've ever seen. And now it raises tentacles. Now it lashes out at both of you. Now it just sends a thick hose of like little suction cups and spikes. What are your ACs?
18.
12.
Gilper, you're not hit. You managed to step aside. Raziel, you do get.
It has advantage against me too. If you want,
good.
if you want to try it for a
Okay.
crit, because I've been attacking reckless.
No crit, but it does hit you. You take 8 bludgeoning damage, and 2 poison.
Whoops. So halved to 4 bludgeoning.
Hasaid, you have reached the door. Unlocking it will take your action.
Sounds good.
All right. When you do, you feel this pull almost at your sternum level, and you are just yoinked. It's like the door goes from being completely solid to you to being kind of like clay. It mushes you through. You find yourself standing on the other side. The door has not opened yet, but you are standing in this room with your 2 friends that are fighting this giant squid creature, and the water is rising, and they have an aura. It's not clear if they can see that aura or not, but it's like Gelthor is outlined in white and Raziel is outlined in black, and they're not meshing in the middle. They're just sort of like staticking at each other. You can see this plain as day.
I have Michael Jackson playing in my head. Like, it don't matter if you're black or white.
I knew where you're going.
All right, but that's my turn, right? Because I just got in here and that's what I see.
Yeah, you just got in here. That was round 2, and you were supposed to get here on round 3. So this way, you will be in here on round 3.
Perfect.
Gelthor.
All right. How bad is this thing looking?
It's not. It seems to be thriving.
It's thriving, but we are damaging it.
Yes. Yeah, it just, when you do, it sort of smokes a little bit, and then it kind of twists back into shape.
All right.
If you would like to roll insight to see if you can figure out why that's happening, I will allow that.
I think I have a little bit of a concept, and it might change what I'm doing, but if you're going to give me a chance to roll something that I've got expertise in, I will gladly take that. So it's going to be a 19 because, I rolled a 7.
Okay. You tell me what your hypothesis is, because if you're right, I'll give you extra information.
All right. So I think it's thriving on the fact that there is animosity and conflict between myself and Raziel.
Yeah, it's absolutely feeding on the fight you're having right now. It's using that to heal itself, and it's a feast.
Okay. So I can't move closer to Raziel. And he positioned himself, next to this creature. Am I able to skirt the altar and get out the door that Hesea just opened?
The door isn't open. Hasaid was pulled through the door.
He passed through it.
All right. Is there any other exit to this room?
No. Not unless you can be teeny tiny and fit through like the hoses that are spewing water out.
All right. Well, all right. I will step back from the altar. I'm the way I'm envisioning this. I'm hoping this thing is big enough that I am not in melee contact with Raziel. So I'm hoping this doesn't draw an attack of opportunity, but that's up for your call.
No, you got space.
All right, so I will back up as far as I possibly can from Raziel. Pull out the candle. Does it appear to be a normal candle?
I mean, aside from the whole black flame thing, it's been consecrated. It is definitely reeking of some evil energies, but like, other than that, yes.
All right. I assume this is going to take an action. Can I snap it?
Yeah.
All right. So I snap it, throw it into the water, and just like non-aggression. Look at Raziel, waiting for his reaction.
Seeing you break the candle, I would just hiss through my teeth, "You fool! Light the candle!" And
it's broken 2 pieces and in the water. Like
I mean, one of those pieces still has a wick. You just made 2 short candles. I don't know if that broke consecration or anything like that.
Twice as powerful.
I'm less concerned about Raziel, though, in terms of stopping him. I'm trying to decide. Raziel's the one that figured out what it's doing. I don't know what it's doing as far as healing itself. I'm gonna try something. Let me see how this works real quick. 15 feet. Is that a... Oh, it's just a saving throw. It's not even ranged. I'm going to start moving around this tentacle creature so that... I don't know, just trying to see... I guess I'm moving back and forth trying to see if it's... you know, to what degree it's following my movements kind of thing. And then I'm going to... bonus action drop my rage. Concentrate for a moment. And then wielding the sword almost like a... like I'm channeling some kind of energy, but in a weird way, it almost looks like I'm casting a fishing line towards it. And as I do so, lightning forms on my blade and lashes out at the creature. I'm going to cast Lightning Lure, attempting to basically kind of use movement at the same time if it fails to kind of pull it with me, so I'm still I guess technically engaged, but I'm also trying to damage it with lightning damage while it's in the water here, which I guess could hurt us all, but let's see how this goes. I'm just coming out of a rage. It needs to make a strength saving throw, DC 13.
All right. I shit you not, we have barely got 14, but that's still pass.
Yeah, so nothing happens.
Does the lightning still go off?
No. Well,
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on. Well, yes, technically, because the lightning is how I'm attempting to lash onto it. It just doesn't take damage from it
Okay.
in the sense of the spell. But yeah, the lightning, I mean, it's part of the spell. It absolutely goes off.
It's a cantrip, so it means like he dodged out of the way of the lightning.
Yeah.
So
So as a note, the lightning does crackle across the water, but it doesn't hurt any of you. Wait, sorry. You're still going.
Nope, that was me. That was action, bonus action.
Okay. Hasaid.
All right. So as I come in, I go, you guys have opposing auras right now. Your fighting is feeding this, I think. You need to figure it out. Either you get what you want and the other one dies, or neither gets what you want and we can survive. You got to figure it out. And I don't know if you want me to count that as my turn or if you.
Oh no, you can still take an action.
Okay, I will use an arcane shot to cast a grasping arrow for an 18 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Which does.
Oh, that is the AC, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
18 piercing and 6 poison.
All right.
And then if it moves, it will take slashing damage on the beginning of each of its turns unless it uses an action to make an athletics check to remove the vines.
One other thing that you all should make note of is that after Hasaid hit it, the wound stays. It doesn't warp back.
And then I action surge.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I crit on this one, not the previous one that had sneak attack too.
That happens when you're a ranger.
23 piercing.
All right.
And that's my turn.
So this thing is now bleeding. I'm sorry, you were gonna say something, Rob?
I was just gonna say, as a note, when my turn ended, Gilthor, you're no longer afraid.
Okay, thank you.
Did you say it's moving?
Yeah, it straightens up, it lifts tentacles, it lifts all 8 of them. Who knows what's holding it up right now, but it's getting ready to do something big.
Then it takes 7 slashing damage. Because it moves.
It does. Yes, it does. And
I'm effective.
I'm going to need, yeah, for real. I'm going to need everybody to give me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm less effective. Oh, that's not bad.
Humble.
15.
21.
Oh, that's not bad at all. You're on a roll tonight.
I got a 15.
I have an 18, and you might want to get off the roll before you squish it.
Oh.
No, I'm just.
I like flattening my buns.
I think this is the dice gods telling you need to be more forthcoming about your characters more often.
Hey, if it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up.
Well, tell your DM so your DM can make it come up. It's our job. Anyway.
I sent it to you at the beginning of the game.
All right, so all of you pass and you sort of like feel that psychic scream roll over you without taking root, but you know it could have been bad. You can feel on the edge of your teeth how bad it could have been. And then we're back to Gelthor.
All right. So I will kind of reiterate what Sayed had said. Like this thing is feeding off of our aggression, our animosity. We need to find a way to right this, to fix everything.
You broke the candle. You got what you wanted. You put the light out. Help me kill this thing.
We'll make a is it 18 was the AC?
Yes.
I just missed with my spiritual weapon. It is wounded, so I will kind of strike my ring against my shield and cast my lightning version of Toll the Dead on this thing.
All right.
It's got to make a wisdom saving throw DC 16.
Missed it by 1.
All right. So Oh, nice. That is going to be 19 lightning damage.
And that is a jerk and like a choppiness of the water for a moment. Do you have
Right.
anything more?
That's it. That's my turn.
Raziel.
I am going to change my position once again, shifting so that I am now between Gelthor and the tentacle creature. And I am going to reach a hand out towards Gelthor. We've got to do this together. And I am, instead of attacking this thing, I am going to use my Asimur ability, Healing Hands, when I touch Gelthor. That's 4d4s, 3 2s and a 1, so you'll get 7 HP back. As this sort of, it's initially kind of looks like the same black and white flame from my Tainted Asimur light, but as the healing energy transfers, it's just the white light that sort of moves into you. That is my action. And I'm going to, I'm just going to turn and face this thing, just staring it down. I wish everybody could see what I see in my mind of this scene. For some reason, even though it's filling up with water, I almost picture it almost like the water's dripping from the walls and the ceilings, almost like rain, as this squid thing is rising up over us, and we're all in our various places and fighting against each other and then fighting against this thing. But I will heal Gelthor and just turn to face
high up
it.
is the water?
Almost to your knees now.
Okay. All right. So we
That's
still
my
got
turn.
time.
Hesed. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
It wouldn't hit the button. I got a 21 to hit for 14 piercing.
Okay.
And then
Very good.
if it happens to move again without taking an action, it'll take 10 more slashing damage.
It does happen to move again. All of those tentacles come down into the water. They are slamming at each of you. And it will take that damage. More of that inky blood just drips into the water. And so it attacks each of you for 15 to hit.
To hit?
Yeah, Raziel. All right, so it's going to be 8 bludgeoning and again 2 poison.
I need it to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
DC 13.
11.
It is going to, as it hits me, you can see I've been waiting for this, waiting for it to strike when I position myself in front of Gelthor. And when it hits me, I take the hit, and then I sort of, and that white-black flame just shoots out at it as I hellish rebuke it.
Nice.
That is for 2d10. 7 fire damage.
Okay. But, gone, sorry.
I was just going to say, if possible, I was sort of planning this while I was taking my damage. If possible, by positioning myself this way, I was also hoping to try to take any attacks aimed at Gelthor, unless they're sliding through the water and avoiding me.
Okay. Yeah, no, you can absolutely block for Gelthor. So like Gelthor, make note of that where you're standing right now. Raziel will take that hit for you.
I mean, that sucks for him because that means he would get hit twice, whereas I would have gotten missed.
That said, it is well, I mean, yeah, actually, technically that is true. So we'll just make that the same damage again, like same 8 bludgeoning, 2 poison.
Yeah.
You're a barbarian, you can handle it. Walk it off.
I dropped my rage, so I'm taking full damage
right.
now.
How bad are you hurt?
Oh, I'm still great. I'm not even bloodied.
All right, Gelthor, you're up.
Well, let me just ask that question again. How much are you down?
If I were to put a number on it, 54 of 85 is where I'm at. I'm only down like 30 points.
All right.
Only 30.
All right. So I will start off with spiritual weapon. That just hits.
You've taken almost as much damage as I have total. And that's with 4 levels of thunder.
10 points of radiant damage. I will reach out towards Raziel. It's 12 plus 4, so 16 points of healing. As the lightning dances across my hand and into your shoulder. For just a moment, you feel energized, as you always are, as my healing kind of...
How much was it?
16.
16.
All right. This thing is not looking good now. This thing is looking like it is on its last legs.
I believe that's my turn.
Did anything... Was there any kind of reaction from this thing as Raziel healed myself, or when I healed Raziel?
Yeah, absolutely. It took damage both times, and you could tell.
Okay.
As Gelthor heals, I just picture this after taking these 2 big hits, almost dropping to one knee, drenched in water, as he hits me with the healing energy, sort of throwing my head back, water spraying off of my hair, and you just see that white light just go as I bonus action rage again. And I am going to lunge at it, recklessly attacking twice with my swords. I've still got my Hexblade's Curse and Necrotic Shroud going. So let's make these attacks count. That is going to be, the first one is an 18 to hit. The second one, oh, that's close. Wait, oh, I crit on a 19 and a 20. I got an 18 on the die. So 25. So both of those are going to be hits.
Right.
Both of those are taking. So the first one is going to be. Oh, it was almost max. Is 11 plus the 10 is 21 plus the D6 plus 3. So 29 on the first hit. Second hit is a 9. 19. So 40 points of slashing damage as I surge towards it and just cutting in low, spinning around, trying to slash these tentacles. Good old classic, those super slow-mo and speed ramps, I'm imagining, just coming in and just sort of slashing, and you just see water spraying in slow motion and whatever this thing bleeds. I don't know if that's enough to take it out, but...
It is. There is a shudder, a congealing, and then it evaporates to the same brackish water you've been standing in. Behind you, the door clicks and like rolls open once more. The water starts seeping out into the hall, but it is no longer trying to fill up the room. The heads remain, but the fountain is off for the moment. And everything is quiet.
It seems you may have both gotten what you wanted. Flames out, and things were stopped from coming out of the altar. Did she say anything about the flame having to stay lit?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I was told to stop anything that comes from that altar.
Mission succeeded?
It would seem so. I'm looking expectantly at the door. I'm fully expecting her to come back, whether she does or not. I'm just standing there, sword still in hand, but
Well, she's not back yet.
I look over at Gelthor. I'm going to roll. What do you guys roll when you do these bonobo rolls? Are you just rolling a wisdom
Yeah,
roll?
just a straight D20.
Straight D20. I'm going to. I'm going to see if Raziel's got the nuts to apologize. I will let the sword just sort of dissipate out of my hand. I will walk over to you, Gelthor, and kind of look at you, and I'm kind of looking at both sides of your face.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you might have a bruise at least. Sorry I hit you so hard.
It's all right. Looking at what Hasay had said, and I don't think anybody ever pronounces it correctly, so I'm not gonna keep trying. It doesn't roll off my tongue well. Um, can I insight this situation to see if to see if Raziel and I have been played?
Yeah.
It's 26.
Okay. You already know Noreen did. But actually, you know Adelaide well enough to know that she probably just genuinely wanted whatever crawled out of that altar killed. She's not invested in the two of you making up with each other. Noreen, on the other hand, definitely is.
Okay. So I don't need to throw that in Raziel's face.
I rolled a dirty 20 insight just into this whole thing, and I think whether you say anything or not, I think Raziel's definitely starting to see kind of, maybe not as clearly as you were seeing how everything played out. I think it's clear that, well, I hope it's clear to you that I don't expect you to waver in your devotion to your God. And I can only hope you can understand that I can't waver in my devotion. But we've got to find a way to still make this work without butting heads constantly.
That is, so it's a good path, and I I smile. I don't know what she has planned or what she has planned for you. She did great work in the past, and so long as what she is doing does not bring her into conflict with us and this city, I'll let it all go. I'm worried about what she's doing. I'm worried about what she's doing to you.
I've devoted decades of my life to her. And that's not going to change. But understand that I'm not losing myself either. And I think
You've
sorry, go ahead.
you've lost a little bit.
What have I lost?
You're you were our center, pushing us on for the longest time to be better. Not just better of individuals, better of who we were, but better people. You, in some ways, taught us to be the heroes that we became. You strode into battle with reckless abandon, caring not for yourself, knowing that the lessons that you taught us to offer support, and in many cases, I pulled you back from the brink with my magic. Oh, but the the things that she's doing are not heroic. They're not going to be spoken of in legends generations from now. They're going to be whispered in children's tales as the villain. I'm not going to sway you from your devotion. That is got to be a choice that you have to make, or not. But life is a constant change. We we learn from the good as well as the bad. We strive every day to be better. No sailor goes out on the seas and expects every voyage to be, you know, full sails and sun. There's going to be storms. There's going to be rain. There's going to be hardship when the fish aren't biting. And you strive to do better. And I just don't think this is the better path. And I put my hand on your shoulder, like trying to lock eyes as this, like I am not trying to attack you. I'm not trying to attack her. I'm trying to, in this instance, pass on the wisdom and see if, you can come to the conclusion that I have on your own, whether it be now or be later.
Can I ask you to roll a persuasion check against
I
me?
can attempt it.
I have an idea, but I want to see how well you're persuading.
Sure. Where the frick did my, there it is. Persuasion. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm actually proficient in this. I'm not good at it, but I'm proficient. Oh, that's a 22.
I just rolled a charisma, which is +1. You got a 15. Raziel meets your eyes. Does not look away. Listens to every word you have to say. And with your hand on his shoulder, you can feel, after a moment, you can feel that. Even if it's subtle, you can always kind of tell when somebody's posture shifts. Even if, you know how when they're holding their tension a little bit?
Yeah.
And that tension goes out. And you can feel that tension go out. And probably as a lingering effect for the last little bit there, the necrotic shroud was just sort of lingering. And that just sort of falls almost like a black, inky black fog just sort of settling to the ground. And I just look at you and I say, I'm just so tired. And I'm going to turn and I'm going to walk away. And that just so I'm so tired, it's probably because by now it's probably like 4 or 5 in the morning. But it's also, you can sense the weariness of the years in Raziel's voice. And there's a little something there. And I think it's probably as he's walking away, before he leaves the room, he glances back at you. And there's a mixture of shame and pride. Shame that he had to be talked to this way by you, but pride in that you're basically taking so many of the things that he's told you and told all of you over the years, and you're using it now to school him. And I think going forward, for the sake of your character, you just see that you got through to Raziel.
Okay.
But going forward, when listening to Adelaide's commands, when asked to do things by her, Gelthor's voice will be there as a
sounding board.
I want to say not like a moral compass, but not so much the compass, more like the weights on the scales by which he will weigh his actions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love that.
That's I think, and that's why I wanted to have you roll to see how far you got through to him, so that from a role playing perspective, the words that you used will it'll be a what would Gelthor do? WWGD in all things.
So how do we go? How do we go over the course of 15 sessions from the dear God, what is that drunk doing to now he's the voice of wisdom?
You're the cleric. You're now counseling and being the
like the sponsor in AA.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Pastor Gelthor.
That said, we are starting to close in on 10 o'clock, and I feel like we had pretty good timing this month, actually.
Yeah.
Listen, when you mentioned the get along sweater or get along shirt, I knew it wasn't going to be like a literal get along shirt, but
did you think it was going to be a get along squid?
No, I never thought it was going to be a get along squid. And I'll be honest, it never occurred to me that that it was our actions against each other. It was our inability to work together that was strengthening this thing. So well played. I mean, and that plays in the Raziel's 10 intelligence. So he's got a little bit of street smarts, but he's all action.
Wow. I'm just tickled that we got backstory out of Frag.
Yeah, that was amazing. That's the real inspiring moment. I don't think we've ever gotten such juicy lore out of Frag.
I mean,
that's not true. Volgath was crushed and then came back, and all kinds of.
Well, I was
going to
say,
there.
aside from that, that's the one other thing that kind of stuck in my mind, and that was what, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
This group has been gaming together this way for many years, because it predates my appearance over on Mini Terrain Domain,
Yeah.
and we ran Dawnbringers for 4.5 years.
I estimate that we've been playing this in one form or another for 7 or 8 years.
That's what I was thinking earlier today.
I'm basing it on some of back. Remember when we used to do new characters for every session?
Uh-huh.
And I remember some of those early characters. I remember where I was when which was 2 buildings ago in the company I work for. When I was working on those while I was supposed to be working, taking a break in the afternoon and working on building a character for a game. And we haven't been in that building for 8 or 9 years, 8 years, 7 years this year. So yeah, 7 or 8 years.
All right. So on that note, we'll be back. We've solidified that this group is going to be getting together the last Friday of the month. So quick pulling up a calendar. We should be back on July 25th, as long as everything goes according to plan. But, this is, been a chaotic group for a long time. So we'll see how long we can keep that tradition holding.
So much it's in our name.
I was going to say, it's not the Chaos Crew for nothing.
So down in the description, you can find a link to, these amazing people, including the ones that aren't even here. We'll be back next month for this game. And you can always, come back on Mondays for Dave and I's live chat, or the Tuesday game that, Robin and I are currently playing in with Ether Skies. And the last session, we got some more juicy detail that links that campaign to the campaign that Dave ran umpteen years ago.
Y'all just like making me make this face.
That was super shocking when he dropped the Dr. Lucy lore. I was not expecting that, but you'll have to go watch those games over there and check it out. So until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
It's not just our characters.